is there any procedure to disqualify or remove a judge for any reason?
Different courts have different procedures, and there's a whole range here. Generally, the courts have procedures for removing a judge if the case is, if there is an egregious breach of law or ethics. What's more difficult is if there is something in a kind of gray area, and sometimes then it's difficult because usually that matter has to be resolved by the other judges who are that judge's peers on the bench. And in any professional situation, it's difficult to sit in judgment on your peers with whom you are working day in and day out. Now, on the other hand, you don't necessarily want to have too large a structure of oversight, because then you're going to have many opportunities to interfere with the independence of judges. So this is one of those difficult situations. I will say there was a very notorious and interesting case involving the Special Court for Sierre Leone, which was a court established to try the perpetrators of the civil war in West Africa, in which a judge on that court, who was actually serving as president of the time, had failed to reveal, and it was not discovered until he was already on the bench and sitting on a trial, that he had written a book in which he had more or less explicitly called one of the groups that was appearing before the court war criminals in that book. That is to say, he had already more or less prejudged them in a public sphere. And he actually declined to recuse himself, and it actually took a collective effort from the other judges on the bench, who in that instance were able to get together and through a series of complicated maneuvers remove him from that case and in fact maneuver him so he was no longer president of the court. So in that case, the other judges on the court were able to act in a collective manner to preserve the integrity of the institution.